This is all designed to help farming, British farming, that is. And so the more people that come, the better it is for the farmers.
So would you invite Keir to your pub, Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister?
No, he's banned. He's the first person to be banned. He's actually on a board in the...
What happens when a TV star takes on a political titan? Jeremy Clarkson's latest move against Keir Starmer has sent shockwaves through Westminster. In a bold act of defiance, Clarkson has banned the Labour leader from his pub. But this isn't just about pints. It's about power, politics, and nearly 3 million voices demanding to be heard. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favour. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video.
So what's your message to the new government? Do you think they get the kind of rural economy at all?
I thought you were running a news operation.
Okay.
He hasn't done much to endear himself to me yet. Well, we'll have a look at farm. No, I don't think any of them have set foot outside Kentish Town for the last 35 years. No, they're a hopeless bunch.
Jeremy Clarkson's latest stunt has left the political world reeling. The former Top Gear host, known for his outspoken nature, has taken an unexpected swing at Labour leader Keir Starmer by banning him from his Oxfordshire pub, the Diddley Squat Farm Shop. But what's brewing behind this bold move? Clarkson's decision comes on the heels of growing frustration among rural communities. Farmers across Britain have been feeling the pinch, with concerns over inheritance tax and agricultural policies taking centre stage. Clarkson, who's been vocal about his own struggles as a farmer, has emerged as an unlikely champion for these overlooked voices. The public's reaction to the pub ban has been as mixed as a poorly poured pint. Some applaud Clarkson for taking a stand against what they see as out-of-touch politicians. Others criticise the move as a publicity stunt, questioning whether banning someone from a pub is an effective form of political protest. But love it or hate it, Clarkson's ban has got people talking. This isn't just about a pint and a packet of crisps, it's a symptom of a deeper issue, the growing chasm between political leaders and the people they're meant to represent. Starmer, once hailed as Labour's great hope, is now facing accusations of being disconnected from the concerns of ordinary citizens, particularly those in rural areas. Clarkson's transformation from petrolhead to political activist might seem surprising, but it struck a chord with many. His blunt, no-nonsense approach to highlighting rural issues has resonated with those who feel their voices are often drowned out by urban-centric policies. Whether intentional or not, Clarkson has become a megaphone for a segment of society that's feeling increasingly marginalised. As news of the ban spreads, all eyes are on Starmer. How will the Labour leader respond to this very public snub? Will he dismiss it as a joke, or will he seize the opportunity to engage with the concerns Clarkson is highlighting? The political world is holding its breath, waiting to see if Starmer can turn this PR nightmare into a chance to reconnect with disillusioned voters. In the immediate aftermath of Clarkson's decision, social media has exploded with memes, jokes, and heated debates. But beneath the humour and outrage, there's a serious undercurrent. This pub ban, as trivial as it might seem on the surface, has ignited a conversation about representation, rural issues, and the state of British politics.
Give everybody a respect order that has signed the petition. And if we all carry on signing the petition, we can be arrested antisocial by signing a petition.
From pub ban to political bombshell, the British public wasn't done making noise. A petition calling for a new election gained unprecedented traction, but its real power lay in the stories behind each signature. Who were these millions of signers, and what drove them to demand such drastic action? The petition's origins were humble enough, a simple online form asking for a general election. But it quickly became a lightning rod for public frustration. Within weeks, it had amassed over 2 million signatures, growing at a rate that left political analysts stunned.
Is it 2 million now?
It's now just over 2 million.
Do you feel the pressure?
Look, I remind myself that very many people didn't vote Labour at the last election.
People have caused misery to local people.
Yeah.
But he's causing misery not locally, nationally.
0.9 people who want the election to go again.
Is it 2 million now? It's now just over 2 million.
This wasn't just a few disgruntled farmers clicking a button. It was a nationwide outcry. What's fascinating is the broad spectrum of people behind these signatures. It wasn't limited to rural communities or Jeremy Clarkson fans. The petition attracted signers from all walks of life: urban professionals, healthcare workers, students, and retirees. Each signature represented a story of discontent, whether it was about rising energy bills, NHS waiting times, or yes, those controversial inheritance tax changes.
So, guys, if you've signed that petition, you may get a knock on the door.
Nearly 7 million signatures. People are still whinging about it. It's not going to do anything. It is going to do something.
There would be plenty of people who didn't want us in the first place. So what I focus on is the decisions that I have to make.
But while the public's anger was palpable, Keir Starmer's response was anything but. His dismissive laughter when questioned about the petition only added fuel to the fire. The facts speak for themselves, he said, seemingly oblivious to the fact that nearly 3 million people were speaking loud and clear. This casual brush-off didn't just anger petitioners, it raised serious questions about Starmer's ability to read the room. So what turned this petition into a viral phenomenon? It wasn't just about the issues themselves, but the growing sense that politicians like Starmer were out of touch with everyday concerns. Each signature became a small act of defiance, a way for people to say, "We're here and we're not happy." The unprecedented scale of this movement has left political analysts wondering, could this be the beginning of the end for Starmer's leadership? History shows that petitions of this magnitude can't be ignored. They've toppled governments and changed policies. With nearly 3 million signatures and counting, this isn't just a footnote in political history, it's a potential career ender. But the real story isn't in Westminster. It's on the streets.
That we should put a petition forward and get it signed by as many people as possible to call a respect order on Keir Starmer.
They swapped the fields for the seafront of Llandudno to try to drive their point home. And hundreds of farmers wanted him to know just how upset they are about changes to inheritance tax.
As the petition gained momentum, so did real-world protests. A rally in London drew crowds of up to 20,000 people, transforming online clicks into a sea of placards and chants. The message was clear. This wasn't just about farming or inheritance tax. It was about a fundamental loss of trust between the government and the people.
Which lie in particular has upset you?
Well, there's a few to be truthful. The national insurance, that's going to hit businesses hard.
Starmer fled like a rat as angry farmers besieged Welsh Labour conference. Not just a rat, but a flipping rat. He said he was running out the door like the throng of angry farmers with pitchforks, literal pitchforks.
He's not a wimp. He's not. He's brave.
Jeremy Clarkson thought he could brush off 3 million signatures. He wasn't prepared for what happened next. How did a tax policy transform into one of the largest demonstrations in recent UK history? The streets of Westminster were filled with an unusual sight, a sea of wellies and tractors. Farmers from across Britain had descended on the capital, their frustration palpable. At the heart of their discontent, a proposed change to inheritance tax that threatens to upend generations of family farming. The government's stance on inheritance tax has hit a raw nerve in rural communities. Farmers argue that these changes could devastate their livelihoods, potentially forcing families to sell off land that's been in their care for centuries.
Do it on the other 2 million people, because it's just 10,000 short of 2 million now that have signed the petition to get you gone.
And everything is just going against it. This inheritance tax it's ridiculous. It's a final straw. Everything we're doing it is for our kids. It's their future.
One protester summed up the mood. This isn't just about money. It's about our heritage, our way of life. Jeremy Clarkson, once again stepping into the role of unlikely agricultural champion, has been vocal about the impact of these changes. He claims that a staggering 96% of farmers would be affected by the Chancellor's proposals. It's a figure that sent shockwaves through the farming community and beyond. The contrast between the government's perspective and the farmers' reality couldn't be starker.
So, guys, if you've signed that petition, you may get a knock on the door. OK, Starmer, place a respect order on me because I don't see what I've done wrong by signing a petition.
While Keir Starmer insists that the vast majority of farms would be unaffected, the protesters tell a different story. Their signs speak volumes. The final straw and no farms, no food. A stark warning of the potential consequences of these policies. Clarkson's involvement has amplified the farmers' message, bringing their concerns to a wider audience. His blunt assessment that the tax changes could wipe out family farms across the country has resonated with many who feel their way of life is under threat. But it's not just about Clarkson's celebrity status. His own experiences as a farmer have lent authenticity to his arguments. As tractors rolled down Whitehall, the question on everyone's minds was, how will this unprecedented show of force impact government policy? The sight of up to 20,000 farmers and supporters gathered in the heart of London is not something easily ignored. It's a visual reminder of the power of collective action and a clear message to politicians that rural voices will not be silenced. The scale and intensity of this protest are truly remarkable. One long-time political observer noted, "I've never seen anything quite like this. It's not just the numbers, it's the passion, the unity."
That is absolutely incredible. For those people saying, oh, it's bots, it's not going to do anything, or people wasting the time, this government have got to earn our fucking respect. That's the only respect that should be fucking talked about here. And they've lost it immediately. They lost it within the first couple of weeks.
Load of shit. Honestly, I cannot believe what I am reading.
These aren't just farmers, they're families fighting for their future. But this protest is about more than just inheritance tax. It's become a symbol of wider public frustration with a government that many feel is out of touch with the realities of everyday life. As one farmer put it, "We feel betrayed." These policies could put our family farms at risk, and it seems like no one in Westminster is listening. While tractors rolled through London, Keir Starmer faced a different kind of siege. The man who promised to restore Labour's credibility now finds himself at the centre of a controversy that threatens to unravel his leadership. What went wrong, and can Starmer recover? Starmer's initial response to the farmers' protests and the petition calling for a new election was nothing short of disastrous. In a press conference that will likely haunt him for years to come, he dismissed the concerns of nearly 3 million signatories with a casual laugh. The facts speak for themselves, he declared, insisting that the vast majority of farms will be unaffected by the proposed inheritance tax changes. It was a moment of political tone deafness that left many wondering if Starmer had lost touch with reality. The backlash was swift and severe. Social media erupted with anger, with many viewing Starmer's dismissive attitude as arrogant and out of touch. The petition, rather than losing steam, gained even more momentum. It seemed that every time Starmer opened his mouth, he pushed more people to sign. His insistence that the last government failed you, this one will not, rang hollow in the ears of voters who felt betrayed by his policies. The gap between Starmer's vision for Labour and public sentiment has never been wider. While he talks about restoring trust in politics, his actions suggest a leader who's more interested in appeasing big business than listening to ordinary citizens. The farmers' protest highlighted this disconnect in dramatic fashion. As tractors rumbled through Westminster, Starmer seemed more concerned with maintaining his image than addressing the real concerns of rural communities. Political analysts are drawing uncomfortable parallels between Starmer's missteps and those of previous Labour leaders. His handling of public dissent echoes the worst moments of the Corbyn era, while his apparent disconnect from working-class voters brings back memories of the Blair government's later years. Some are even comparing the growing anger towards Starmer to the backlash that led to Liz Truss's downfall, raising questions about how long he can maintain his position under such pressure. As the crisis deepens, all eyes are on Starmer. Will he double down on his current approach, risking further alienation of voters? Or will he swallow his pride and make a genuine attempt to reconnect with the electorate? His recent public statements aimed at reassuring voters have fallen flat. suggesting that a more drastic change in strategy might be necessary. The situation remains fluid, with many anticipating that the upcoming months will be critical for Starmer's leadership. Internal dissent within the Labour Party is growing, with calls for a change in direction becoming louder by the day. Critics within his own ranks are expressing concerns about the disconnect between Starmer's policies and the sentiments of the electorate.